When you see really successful entrepreneurs, it feels like a black or white mentality. To be successful in your business, you have to quit your 9 to 5. And for me, that just was not an option because I was supporting myself. This is part 3 of my vulnerability series. I'm Roma. I'm a sales and systems coach, so I help you create more sales and automate your business as you go. And I'm going to share some of the more vulnerable parts of what it's been like being a business owner over the last couple of years. If you know me and you watch my channel, you know that I go over a lot of the tactical strategies, but I want to go over all the mindset drama that has been happening over the past couple of years and normalize the myth of quitting your job and starting a business. And I wanted to say right off the bat, like when I started my business, I thought you could not do both. I never thought that you could have a successful business while also working a 9 to 5. And that's what I did. I had a successful business. I made over $150,000 in my first year of business, and I still had my 9 to 5 on the side, right? Notice how I say on the side, because at that point, I love my business so much that my big girl job felt like a side hustle, right? And I think this narrative is so underplayed in media. When you see really successful entrepreneurs, it feels like a black or white mentality. To be successful in your business, you have to quit your 9 to 5. And for me, that just was not an option because I was supporting myself. I was, in a different state. I didn't have family or community nearby me when I first left and started my 9 to 5. And I wasn't comfortable just quitting my 9 to 5 once I made a ton of money in my business. I really wanted security. I really wanted stability. And I had to calm down and know that I think there was a lot of guilt, right? I wanted to share this story because there was a lot of guilt being like, people would kill to be where I am. They want to have like the 6-figure business and quit their job. But there was some part of me that didn't think it was right for me in the moment. It was only when I felt like I had emergency savings. I actually saved, and you could watch this in my video about how I quit my 9 to job, but I had to save a year's worth of salary for me to feel okay enough to quit my 9 to 5 job, right? But I wanted to address this in my vulnerability series because, again, I think if you have a successful business or you have a business that's profitable and generating a decent amount of revenue, like 6 figures, the narrative is to quit your job. And I will say, do what feels good to you, right? Don't be pressured by social media or anyone to just quit your job because that is the path you see all these entrepreneurs take. I just wanted to create this video again to normalize that is okay to have both. And there will be a point it might not ever happen, but again, for a lot of entrepreneurs, there is a point where you are spending so much time on your business that you cannot fulfill the duties of your 9 to 5, and that's why you eventually quit. Or you need to resign, or again, you're making so much money in your business that it's not worth working your 9 to 5 anymore, because if you put all that time from your 9 to 5 on your business, you make way more money. But things don't always work out that way. Sometimes you will stay at your 9 to 5 while you have a really successful business like I did. And then when you save up all that money, again, money was the biggest factor for me. I needed a year's worth of savings before I quit. And that is the unsexy thing that I think a lot of entrepreneurs don't tell you, is that you need to feel safe to quit your job. It's not this glamorous thing of you just handing in a resignation letter. I really needed to plan how I was going to be okay. I had to figure out my health insurance. I had to figure out how I was going to continue investing and contributing to my retirement funds without a 9 to 5. And those problems took me a while. It took me longer than a year to figure out as I was in my first year of business. And even if you make a ton of money in your business, it's okay to not quit. I just want to normalize that and apologize if I've ever been part of that push of you can only have one. You can either have a really successful business or you can just have your job. You can do both. You just have to be really good at managing your time. And you will know, no one else can tell you when to quit your job. Only you will know when the best time to quit your job is. It's going to be different for everyone. Some people will say when you save a year's worth of salary, like I did. Some people are going to say when you realize it doesn't make sense to work your 9 to 5 because your business is making so much money. Some people might just really hate their boss, and as soon as they make $1 in their business, that gives them a reason to leave. The reason is different for everyone. So go by, if you're looking for a litmus test on when's the right time to quit your job, no one can really tell you. It's going to be something that you come up with on your own. I remember I asked, I think 20 of my friends, my business friends, when they quit their job, and they all had different answers. Like for some people it had to do with money, for some people it had to do with, their family, but none of those reasons applied to me. So that's why I wanted to create this video again, to normalize that quitting your 9 to 5 and having a business at the same time, you can do both of them. You can quit your job and go to your business 9 to 5, or you can do both. Like you could have your 9 to 5 for a couple years and then have a business. It's all okay. I would say don't get wrapped up into the myth that you can only have one. So yeah, that is part 3 of my vulnerability series. I just wanted to share that here. If you're feeling like you're being pulled in one direction and you're not quite ready to make a decision, like a life-changing decision like quitting your job, then I would say it's okay to feel like you're being pulled in directions, right? But just really figure out what your litmus test is. Figure out what your reason is and why you would want to quit. It's going to be different for everyone. And again, asking around might help, but that answer is going to be different no matter who you ask. Okay, this was part 3. Part 4 is coming out next week, and I hope you guys have been enjoying this vulnerability series. I'm getting a little bit of a vulnerability hangover by sharing all of this, but I wanted to normalize everything that goes on in business.